Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I'm gonna make sure I look nice for you guys. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever the case may be. I go by Mechanical Beanstalk. I'm a variety streamer who tries to do more off-the-radar games, which includes games that have a very strong community presence, or modded presence, or indies or retros that need a little bit more time in the spotlight. So today we're actually going to be going back to Warhammer 40,000 Sundays. Good morning, Nuglo. How's it going? I wanted to play Speed Freaks today. I got into the early access. This is my story. This is my story. How I understand it, right? So I downloaded Speed Freaks. I got into early access, right? Early access, and it kind of like got away from me. I didn't even really play it until recently. So I did an update on the game. I'm like, oh, this would be really fun. I ran it last week, and it worked fine, right? I ran it and like a couple hours ago, and it suddenly stopped working. Like it wouldn't run, right? So I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that like the anti-cheat system that's put out by Epic Games is now installed on Speed Freaks. I think it has something to do with the fact that like I came from early access but didn't purchase the full copy. Maybe there might be some sort of weird compatibility issue. The workarounds that I eventually found were kind of ridiculous, like totally uninstall Steam, reinstall it, and hopefully that fixes the problem, or do some like registry stuff and like step A, step B, step C, step Q. And I'm just like, I don't really want to play it that much, So anyways, sorry about that, guys. I try to be responsible, and I did do it. I did double check ahead of time. So, anyways, we're going to be going back to Warhammer 40,000 Sundays. This is what we decided to do. So we're going to be going back to Rogue Trader. We're going to go back to our typical rotation of Rogue Trader and Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. And maybe as we get closer to the new Dawn of War game, maybe we'll start playing more of Dawn of War 2 like we're playing before. But yeah, like and follow and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're unfamiliar with Warhammer 40,000, which is totally fine. It's one of the bigger IPs. Eventually, what I think is going to happen? Eventually, Disney is going to buy out Games Workshop and Warhammer 40,000 IP. Then you'll have some sort of like Eldritch. It's going to be the end times will be the Prim Notion, the legend of the end times will be upon us, right? So, like, all the different competing IPs will just mesh together into some hideous abomination that just destroys the world. But anyways, kind of a side tangent. But anyways, Warhammer 40,000 is a far-off future in grim, dark universe of, the 40,000 plus. Life is cheap. Technology is kind of like archaic, treated almost like a magical reverence or spiritual reverence to it. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's about 30 plus years of lore on it. The lore is kind of like very flexible and like they kind of encourage the fact that, unreliable narrators and, everything is the status of Warhammer 40,000 canon, if I can put it out there. I think the official stance is everything is canon in Warhammer 40,000, but not everything is true, which I love. I actually love, because it gives I like to go into an IP and kind of just like brainstorm and like find like little bits and pieces of like hints of like what did happen and what could have happened, and let my imagination kind of run wild, right? But anyways, that's the gist of it. We're going to be going to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, which is you are a privateering merchant prince sailing your giant cathedral ship through space and making profit, making power. Essentially, just exploring the universe in kind of a diesel punk hellscape for the most part. Frame rate is being kind of weird. But anyways, I think everything's running okay. Let me know if everything's set. So far, this is the second time we've been playing through the Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader campaign. First time we played through as a... I was trying to thematically make it into like a space Viking king, like a Viking with kind of like big old braided beard and like two dual axes running in and fighting off guys with like lasers and whatnot. So that was pretty fun. We named it as, he was always everyone was referring to him as King, right? We went through it. We were doing kind of more like a kind of the House Stark from Game of Thrones kind of like morality system, where the greater good is something you want to strive for, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your people live as good as they can in that system, right? Now, the second campaign that we're doing is based off like it was initially started off as like a Halfling campaign where we're doing all the quests that we hadn't done in the previous campaign, right? We modded it a little bit to mod in space Halflings into all the companions in the player race, right? In the Warhammer 40,000 setting, space Halflings are called Ratlings, right? More or less kind of the same. There's not really much to say, although they're just more of an offshoot of humanity versus their own like species per se. So throughout the campaign, we were doing our thing. We're investigating a large galactic theft of like imperial taxes, or the imperial tithe, right? And it led us down to a chaos cult, which body swapped the main character with that of a handmaiden. So my halfling is now a human handmaiden, right? Let's actually go and check up on her. But our captain is Captain Guppo Teawhistle of the Teawhistle dynasty. Very intimidating force, right? But we keep our old body next to us, or in our quarters. The handmaiden is still serving us. I'll see, but here's Captain Guppo, how he exists right now. I was only able to, I modded all of these weird changes that you see on the screen. I modded all of those in using a mod called Toybox. I'll kind of go into the changes as they kind of come up, but I won't go into a huge introduction right now. The only thing you need to know is that Captain Guppo is now a woman, which may influence, because I was kind of making him into more this playthrough to be more of like a heretical, like piratical, like nature, and I think this might be an excuse to go down the dark side, so to speak, right? So this is Captain Guppo, right? My old body is right over here. See? Yeah! It's the old body, so we're body swapped. I'm thinking, originally the idea is that Captain Guppo, let's actually go take my leave. Let's save, because I think we have to, in order to get the height changes down, we have to do one load after the game starts. But what might happen, because originally this was the Halfling campaign, the Space Halfling campaign, right? And I wanted to take it into a little like interesting little side tangent, just for fun, because why not, But the thing is, like, it is originally a Halfling campaign. It's hard. I feel like as soon as I'm able to, like, in character get access to like sorcery skills for the Lord Captain, we can say that he's able to switch the bodies back, right? But normally, like, after the quest, you actually get body swapped. You do change back, but I thought, it'd be kind of funny to play around with the Lord Captain in the handmaiden's body. That would be kind of funny for a while. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. I think we've done the majority of the latest DLC's quests, right? And I think we are a little bit underleveled. So I think what we're going to do today is that we're going to go around, we're going to talk about Warhammer 40,000 lore, because I have a decent experience as a Warhammer 40,000 pen and paper role-playing game master, right? So I game mastered 4 campaigns, I believe, at least 4 campaigns of Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. Played in a lot of Warhammer 40,000 role-playing games, so I know a little bit about the lore. I'm not the expert LoreTuber you might find on some other corners of YouTube. I'm definitely not British, so that's one negative to me. But I like to, every so often when there's like a load screen, a little bit of downtime, I like to kind of stop and we'll talk about certain aspects of the Warhammer 40,000 lore in terms of the pen and paper role-playing game aspect of it, because there's some nice little bits of lore that are kind of like tucked away. And remember, according to the Games Workshop, everything is canon, but not everything is true. So like everything could be canon. All the Warhammer 40,000 role playing games stuff could be canon. Like the Dawn of War series. Super Soldiers, the Blood Ravens, those were canon to that game, but now they're kind of canon to the greater Warhammer 40,000 universe. So all this stuff is canon. You never know. It's kind of cool. I like that. I like that about the game. But yeah, I think that it's a good intro. Nuglo, beginning of the Warhammer 40,000 lore, real new to the setting myself. Yeah, it is if you're getting into it now, good luck. You've gone down the rabbit hole, and I wish you a safe and fascinating journey, because every single person can kind of get into Warhammer 40,000 in different ways. You can get into it through different, because there's a lot of different aspects to Warhammer 40,000. There's like the grim dark, like Call of Cthulhu, Eldritch horror kind of setting. There is like the big boom setting, like a badass action, and then there's kind of like a somewhat silly stuff of like loading a church into a cannon, shooting that church into into a planet, and having like a church's farm, like that silly side of Warhammer 40,000. I got into Dawn of War in Soulstorm, so I got into it in a really weird angle, and that kind of influenced my perception of Warhammer 40,000 lore and why I enjoy it and why it is one of my favorite IPs. But yeah, Warhammer 40,000 lore is amazing, right? Like, as at the top of my head, I can tell you that there's like certain stories, like say Warhammer 40,000 space orc, right? Orcs stereotypically in like any other AP, they're all big, they're green, they got tusks, and they like to fight. This guy, more or less the same. He actually found himself he and his army was thrown backwards through time, and he actually he decided, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to go and kill my past self so I can have two of my same gun, because it's my favorite gun. So that's the kind of like that's one example of a small story you can find in Warhammer 40,000, the beautiful Warhammer 40,000 setting. I forget exactly what I was doing, but yeah, we're going to be going on around and doing little quests. We're going to we're going to try to unlock the Gene Stealer quest, since we haven't done that before. Mostly, like, any quest that we haven't done before, we'll try to get that done. So we'll try to be fun. Okay, so we could track down the Cult of the Bloodstained Web. I think that will eventually lead us to some Gene Stealer quests. So we'll do that, right? So I think that's probably what we'll do. I think we'll go to the space station, because I think I wanted to check in and make sure our delivery of our... I think I wanted to make sure the delivery of our food is actually going to Footfall. I can't remember if we've already checked that out. But yeah. Anyways. There's like tons of Warhammer 40,000 like short stories that I can probably talk to you guys about. But a lot of them is just like ones that I can recall just off the top of my head. I can tell you about my favorite. I think I mentioned this before, right? On like a few. It's probably been a while. I could probably repeat the story again. But the best time I've ever had. At least it's one of the top experiences I've ever had in the Warhammer 40,000 pen and paper RPG game, right? So we were not playing Rogue Trader. I was a player in someone else's campaign where we were playing Black Crusade. And Black Crusade is like the bad guy version of what we're playing right now, right? You play as like Chaos Cultists. Sometimes you can play Xenos. I think it has the best percentage system of any other role-playing game I've seen. It's kind of hard to explain, but anyways, we're playing as a mix of Chaos Cultists and Orcs, right? Kind of just going around, just being piratical, right? My character was Captain Blackwart, right? So he was a orc, a space orc pirate, right? He had a big old pirate hat, right? And he had like a Slaaneshi, a power claw blessed by Slaanesh, because he would do a lot of mercenary work for chaos worshipping devil cultists, right? And he would just be all about like wealth. He wouldn't necessarily be about. He's not about the religious cause or anything like that. He's just about, getting glory, picking fights, and So one of the things, we stopped by Orc Space, my party, right? We had, off the top of my head, I think it was myself, Captain Blackward, and then we had another orc, one of my good friends, right? He was playing an orc weird boy, like a spellcaster, right? Kind of a shamanistic guy. And then we had a Nurgle space marine. He was like this squishy, goopy guy who, like, I think had the heavy weapon specialist. And then we had a couple, a sorcerer and another chaos guy. I forget the exact details of it. But we actually were able to get a ship. We're going around doing mercenary work. We stopped by Orc Space in order to like reload to get some like resources. And then we found out there was a side quest that we had the option of doing. So it was, like how dogs have show dogs, like the best in show, right? Well, the orcs of this planet were having best in show for weird boys, right? Like the shamans, right? It was just an offhand comment. And I'm like, holy crap, we got to win that contest, right? So we take our weird boy, my friend, and we make sure that he's like, he looks nice. So we dress him up in like something nice, and we gave him a bunch of training. Like one of the things is like that there's like a talent show part of it, and like there's combat, there's like talent show. You have to look nice if you're a weird boy, right? So they're doing best in show, right? So we're like, we're gonna win this. We're gonna win the jackpot. And what we do? There's like a bunch of guys that were thinking they were going to win. They had like the best tricks for their weird boys and other rival like orc pirates. So we made like a chaos suppository, right? So we ground up a bunch of artifacts and did a ritual that made like this pill. Like this big, right? It was like full of like the equivalent of Warhammer 40,000 Warp Storm, like condensed chaos and like evil magic, right? And we shoved it up our weird boy, right? So we trained him. We did like all these sessions where we were training him to do all these like special tricks and like killing some people with his mind and stuff like that. And then but we had a thing where like, because I think we couldn't bring in items, right? So he had to sneak in the suppository to himself, and I think it was up his. So it was up his. You know what, right? I don't know what I can and cannot say on YouTube, but I'm eventually going to get myself canceled. But yeah, so we snuck him in, and we did through the whole thing, and so there's this giant arena where there's like they had like imprisoned sorcerers and stuff like that, and then he goes through the weird boy goes through the entire. Best of show, right? He gets all passing grades, and he goes up against this guy. Had like this orc's captain's weird boy. He does all these crazy magic spells and stuff like that. And so we said him like, there's no use. There's no way he's gonna beat this like difficulty roll. You're like, clench your butt cheeks as hard as you can. And everyone at the table was like, best in show. So he clenches his butt cheeks. He destroys the suppository in his you know what, right? As he clenches it, and he absorbs all the chaos energy from that giant pill, and he explodes into a massive demon and like energies that like has a chain reaction and like kills all these other weird boys that are in this arena, and this. Then unleashes like this hellscape on this planet. Essentially, we doomed the planet from like this giant warp incursion. We like somehow survive, right? And then we're like fling, and then I'm like, you know what? We forgot a prize. So we turn back around after like days after fleeing this catastrophe. Like everyone's like screaming, dying. We go back. There's no resistance, and we go back, and there's just ruins everywhere. Then we go back to the sponsor, and we go. The game master describes it as there's like a door, right? The building, all the walls have been blown apart, which is like the door, and the door is closed, right? So I go to the door and I knock on it. And like everyone's dead and weeping, just like slaves that are weeping, and like they're like, oh my god, what were we ever gonna do? And there's still like sounds of like battle off in the distance where people are like suffering and dying. And I'm like, I knock, and then the sponsor of the games, he opens up the door like it's nothing, but he's all wounded, and he's like, he has all of his like his clothes are torn, right? His clothes are torn. He's like, oh, come in. And I walk through the door. door. Keep in mind, all the walls are blown down. There's fire in the background, sirens going off, and like, so I walk out the door and I have a seat at the desk. I'm like, so about my prize money. He's like, you can tell the orc is like traumatized by what he saw, right? We have this long negotiation about like how I won because all the other contestants are dead. And he's like, there's like a lot of money on the track, so he's like, we're negotiating. They're fucking, it was like screaming. Oh my god, it was probably my favorite instance in all of like that I've ever had in Warhammer 40,000 in general. And of course we went best in show, but my friend is fucking dead. My friend is dead. Like, he had fate points, stuff that allowed him to like survive death, but because we loaded him up with so much, it destroyed his destiny. Like, he couldn't survive it. Right? It was like an atomic bomb of like death. Right? So my friend's dead. Everyone else on the planet is pretty much dead, and we're negotiating for money. He's like, well, you've done hard part. I mean, yours best in show. Your voice best in show. He's fucking dead. So yeah, it was great. That was 11 out of 10. It was just great. It was just so great. Yes, winning gold and best in show river voice. Yeah. But yeah, we best in show. That's the story I always tell for the best 40k moment that I can think of is my orc mercenary pirate winning best in show for his weird boy. And like destroying the entire world. Anyways, let's see. I think we have to go to Vladimir Tokara.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
There's a lot of other great instances that I have of. I'll probably talk about it today. I wasn't really intending to play Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. I love Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, the cRPG. There's still a lot of content that I haven't done in it, so this is fine. But I just wasn't really intending, thinking I was going to play it today. Questions about Footfall. I think we are good. He is like he charges me, quite a bit. Like look at some of these prices, man. I think he doesn't like. Oh, you know why he probably doesn't like me? Because I took Jay onto my party. That's probably it. But I don't think I could really buy anything. I don't really have a lot of like good. I think I only have one colony. It's not necessarily doing great, so we don't have the kind of like profit we did on the last campaign. So I guess what we'll do is just go back on the ship and we'll do the tracking down the bloodstained web quest, and then we'll see if we can unlock the Gene Stealer quest. And we'll travel around the galaxy. We'll do like side quests and stuff like that. That's what we'll do tonight. I'm thinking of the term chaos suppository for a while now. I'm sorry I put that in your head. Let's see here. Void Dock Alpha Row. My first ever Warhammer 40,000 campaign that I ran was the premise was this is how I approach my players, because it's one of the first like campaigns I ever game mastered, right? So I was wasn't 100% sure on how to kind of pick it up and do certain things, but I approached it. Everyone was kind of like talking and casually talking at the table, and I'm like they're listening to me, and I'm like, okay, going over you, because there is their crew had what's called was like a death warrant of trade, right? Where they were the main character's father was given the warrant of trade to kind of as a political maneuvering to kind of get him out of the picture, but also to remove him from play, because the wording on the warrant of trade contract was that he had to get there's a contingency on it, so you had to get a certain amount of profit factor per year and deliver it to Terra. Like, you have to actually warp travel all the way back and from one side of the galaxy and all the way back like every year, and it's like the amount of wealth that you had to pay back to the Imperium every year was just unsustainable, right? Typically. So it was not a good thing that she got this warrant of trade for the most part. But so she had to kind of take jobs from some unscrupulous people, which was a member of the Inquisition, right? So the idea is that we're sitting around the table, and I approach them all, and I'm like talking about the representation for the Inquisitor. I don't know if it was the Inquisitor or one of his representations or whatnot. So he's like, we have there's many different there's many different enemies that the Imperium has. Blah 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, okay, this we need like people like you, like dynamic agents that can go out and apply the stars and actually, meet the test ways to meet these threats, right? So we want you to take you to this. There's half of a device. You're going to assemble it in this area. You're going to travel in here. I'm like, okay. They're like, okay. So you'll reassemble this device, which is an experimental exterminatus device, which is a doomsday weapon, right? And they're like, what? And like, we want you to take it in here, reassemble it, because it's like in pieces. It can't be determined that it is the kind of semi-heretical device that it is. Assemble it inside this area of space, and then take it to this planet and use it on the planet and destroy it. And all the players at my table were just like, wait, what? I thought we were supposed to be heroes, man. I'm like, it's it is what it is. So the first campaign was essentially testing an exterminatus device that was kind of semi-heretical for the Inquisition. And if they did that, then they would the Inquisition would solve their money problems, right? So it was a pretty interesting thing, because the thing was like a lot of the more pieces that you got from this exterminatus weapon, the more unstable that they actually were together, right? And the more like you had to make sure that you didn't fail your piloting or do any sort of like weirdness with your ship, because it might set off the parts, right, and destroy your ship and like kill everyone, right? And the way I kind of like explained it to the players was that if you actually fate points, which are a resource that in the pen and paper game that you typically have, certain versions of the Warhammer 40,000 pen and paper game, you have different types of resources, but fate points are a genuine thing where you can use them for rerolls or erase them, points of them completely in order to avoid like death or like really, really bad stuff from happening, right? So I'm saying that even if you are caught in a super doomsday event, which there's no conceivable way of making out, then you cannot use your fate points to avoid death, right? Because it's just like, there's no way that because fate points just kind of like change your fate to make sure that like whatever the least likely outcome happened, so that sort of thing, right? And you just somehow survive. But there's this like no way to avoid, if you're on a bike and you're driving into an atomic explosion, like fate points are not necessarily going to save you. That's what I'm thinking anyways. But yeah, that was my first campaign. They fought a lot of orcs in that campaign. But anyways, yeah. Oh wait, we're going back to the bridge, right? And then we're going to go to the tram system, and we're going to oversee the investigation. And we're going to, we might have to bring what's her face with us, the 𝕿𝖵𝖊𝖊. We'll see. I might actually respec 𝕿𝖵𝖊𝖊 if I have to keep her in my party, because I want to try like a different builds than I played in the last game. She was my my romance in the last campaign. This campaign I'm probably going to do either Jay or 𝕿𝖵𝖊𝖊. Or probably both, since my main character is kind of an asshole. We'll see how that works. Cool. Okay, so yeah, I think we have to go here, and then we have to go all the way over here. And I think this is the elevator that we can take to the tram station. Do we have... Does everyone have their consumables? I think we're all good. Yes. Cool. Save game. Let's do squishy halflings. All right. And the compartment. Officer's deck, freight line. I think it's freight line. Void ship shrine, Astropath Chapel. Yes. Yes. Wait, no. Yeah, that's my party. Cool. Alternatively, what I can do is that I can go to Act 3, or just keep making progress in it? Because I do want to unlock, what's his face? The Dark Eldar, right? Because he was going to be the last person in my party that I was going to have. And what I was thinking about doing, his name escapes me, but what I was thinking of doing, I've respect and like redone a lot of the portraits for a lot of other people in my party, changed their races and whatnot. But I'm thinking with the Dark Eldar, what I'm going to do is I am going to respect him. I'm going to make him into kind of like a melee character. I can take out the Dark Eldar tag, so we can actually use like buzzsaws. So I'll do melee buzzsaw user with, I don't know, maybe like a bounty hunter, like spec. Try that. And for like the portrait thematically, what I'm going to try to do is make him so he's like a kind of like a sanctioned Xenos, which is kind of like he's going to be my Xenos pet, right? So he's going to look like he's kind of sort of abused, stuff like that. Maybe I'll rename him so he has like a kind of like a dog's name. It'd be kind of messed up, but you know. Okay, we'll follow this. We'll do this quest. I don't know if we have to take 𝕿𝖵𝖊, but we'll try to go without 𝕿𝖵𝖊. And then, yeah, we'll see if we can unlock the Gene Stealer quest. I think we did something weird on the last campaign where the Gene Stealer quest just didn't show up for whatever reason. So, a surly built man with an augmented jaw stands at attention. The dark circles under his eyes speak to many sleepless nights, but his voice is loud and spirited. Welcome to Freight Hub 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖃, Lord Captain. I am 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖃, Captain of the Enforcers of the Lower Deck Bay ld-A14. The Master of Arms has assigned me to be your liaison for the duration of your stay here. Lord Captain, will you like to inspect the control room or to begin your search for the Temple of 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖃? That's the last part with art of concern. Just thinking about your prospect of walking around the lower desk wound your refined senses because I'm a noble. Your mind conjures vivid images of filth and poverty hanging in the air, seeping out of every crack, gnawing their way through your skin. Appear to inspect the entire compartment. Curious to see how people know. Captain Guppo would not. Keep in mind, Captain Guppo, for now, until we actually are able to get our tier 3. Once we get to tier 3 archetypes, I'm going to give Captain Guppo some like biomancy abilities. And lore-wise, I'll say that she has the and I'm going to like convert her to chaos, right? And once I get those things like in character-wise, I think she has the knowledge to kind of do the body switch back. So we'll spend a little bit of time more time in Maeve's body, and then probably once we level up a little bit later in the campaign, we'll be going back to more of like a chaos falling Captain Guppo, where his mind has been sheared with the tragedies of his experiences in the body of a handmaiden. Do you know how to reach the Temple of the Bloodspun Web? I'm sorry, my Lord Captain, I do not. No one knows. The cultists are too adept at hiding and keeping their secrets, and it worries me that you might have to walk around the entire compartment looking for the temple. Why is it you're worried? Is there a problem with the compartment? The lower decks are not suitable for one of your status. Well, yes, of course, I understand that. And it's not just the grime or the crowds or the brutish laborers. I suspect that the entrance to the Temple of Death is hidden somewhere in a dark corner. You might encounter criminals or contagious outcasts. With that kind of riffraff that dwells there, you might even be attacked. He frowns. To put it bluntly, although the Bay performs its functions well, even the more civilized sections are sorely lacking in discipline. I was only assigned recently, of course, yeah. It's like, oh, that's the last guy who had my job. It's all his problem, right? So I haven't had time to straighten everything up, since doing so will require making some serious changes. I'm not inventing excuses, Lord Captain. Yeah, sure. As the officer in charge, I accept full responsibility for what takes place in the compartment. Let's see. The situation in the Bay does not interest me. I'm here on business and have no intention of staying here longer than I have to. Understood, my Lord Captain. Tell me about this station. Hub LD-987A14 connects the lower decks freight, residential, and artillery bays. Our task is to monitor the flow of labor force and prevent supply disruption between bays. Who maintains this hub? traffic controllers. They're technomats trained by the priests of the machine cult to keep the sacred cogitators in working order and prevent their train collisions. Awesome. I love that. The consequences of an accident like that would be easy to imagine, especially if one of the trains were carrying macro cannon ordnance. Also employed here are an enforcer squad, a team of Inferni, the clerks who keep cargo records, and a Medicaid officer, a fine chap whose medicine of choice is bullets. May the God Emperor forgive him. Not every void ship can boast its own railway, the Lord Captain says with pride. That's true. Usually higher class ships are the ones that get the trains, but it's far from the greatest thing a road trader's warrant can see done. The credit here goes to Lady Theodore's predecessor, whose orders Adeptus Mechanicus assisted in birthing this miracle of sacred engineering from the womb of this dynasty flagship. Okay. I've heard enough. Always at your service, Lord Captain. Be steadfast in your duties, Captain Frenzo. Emperor protects. Okay, let's take a look around. Yes. I'm somewhat getting used to this new body, being tall and gangly as it is. And Fossa, carry on, my people, carry on. Your captain has come. I look different, but I can assure you that I am of sound mind and sound body. Okay, we got the little thing. I'm not going to... Okay, so it doesn't look like I have to have 𝕿𝖵𝖊𝖊 with me. Is that blood? It can't be. We scrubbed the deck 3 times right before the work trader came. Void take me. The captain will have our heads. Fascinating. 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖊𝖗 Frenzo. The corner of the captain's mouth twitches nervously as he mutters, "Damn those. How can they even... Wait, I can actually add portraits, I found out with Toybox. I can actually add portraits to some of these guys. Let me see if I can do that really quick. Let's see. It was... Let's see here. No, it's Control 10, I want to say. Yes, Toybox. 𝕿𝖗𝖊𝖊𝖗 Frenzo. Let's see here. Nearby. 𝕿𝖗𝖊𝖊𝖗 Frenzo. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. What portrait can we give him? I don't have like a bunch of like just weirdo portraits sitting around. Custom portrait. Blueprint portrait. So we can do... Give him like this portrait. Looks pretty simple. Okay, 1 second. Change portrait. Save. Okay. Close. Examine the mark. Awareness. You have seen this sort of symbol before. Death cultists carve bleeding marks like this into their own skin. Okay. Explain yourself, Frenzo. What is this mess? 𝕿𝖗𝖊𝖊𝖗 Frenzo. Lord Captain, one of the cultists must have sneaked in here and left this mark. Perhaps they forced someone else to do it. It's a disgrace that they can pull stunts like this straight under my nose, but at least I can assure you that this mark is not dangerous. It resembles one of the symbols associated with the blood-spun web. What was it called? The Song of Trailing Blood, I think? It's a prayer familiar to many in the compartment. We've heard spinners say that when they perform the signature act on the servant of service to the Emperor. Frenzo takes a deep breath. Oh, he memorized it. Okay, well, I guess he is in charge. He's... The soundless shadow sank into the dark. /feet crescendo at the fatal dance. The blade sung in tempo, each edge an echo. Twin odes to death throes, now on her sacred blood, as she once trod the backs of foes, tread countless souls, but none who know. You memorized this verse? When I took up the post here, I made sure to familiarize myself with all the particular qualities of this compartment. I soon heard the verse and decided to investigate. I questioned a number of people who followed the blood-spun web. I was trying to figure out if there was anything pernicious about it. And eventually, I learned the whole thing. He frowns. The words are certainly strange, but nothing worse than that, it seems. Why would they leave this mark here? Probably a pointer, I would say. Maybe it has something to do with them inviting you to visit their temple. I mean, I think that's where I have to go, right? Maybe they're trying to get your attention. Apologies, Lord Captain. I'm no good at deciphering their disturbing rituals. What is the Song of Trailing Blood? From what I can tell, it's something like a prayer with several verses that tell all about the life of one's cult's saints. excuse me, Arion, or the Matrix Sparta, as they call her. In other words, it's an invitation. It's all too obvious that the cultists obsessed with mysticism would never use prose to mark their way to the temple. They're all too fond of obscuring chants and cryptic verses. So I'm invited to follow a trail of blood, it seems. I accept the Spina's invitations. I'll be finding what you're looking for and return to the upper deck safely, Lord Captain. Alright, I certainly will. We've leveled up quite a bit. We're pretty strong. Okay, anything else? We got 𝕿𝖗 in our party.
I won't tolerate weakness.
This actually is a much more... I think in a lot of ways it is stronger than my last campaign's party. Because I know what I was doing when I was doing the builds a little bit more. The fact that you're here means their families have disowned you. You are all refuse, and the stench of the lower decks is all you deserve. That's mean. Bulky doors lead to enforcers, living quarters, and the hub's provision depots. Cool. This is the last of the hub's files for this work cycle. Do you know how much it costs? It is not my concern whether or not these my servants are eating correctly. That is their jobs as rational human beings. Spend the rest on Raqqa again, I'm guessing. You know, all the halfling citizens. Oh, you know what? I think I can actually... Wait, I can mod a lot of these characters to be shorter. Since we are doing more halfling stuff, right? What? That's mean. Actually, let's go back.
Claim to the stars.
Wait, is 𝕿𝖗 Frenzo? Can I mod? Because I mean, my headcanon is that there's a lot of space halflings on my ship, right? Ah, I can. Okay, 0. It was like 5.5. Yay! Okay, cool. I got to do that more often. Like the named characters, I actually have to make them into halflings. Because that's my headcanon, you know? We're a ship full of, like, primarily space halflings. I have to get my own body back. This gangly woman's body, it's just not for me. I miss the curves of my old, rotund, amazing body. The physique.
It's about time.
The immaculate senses that I had as a Ratling. Perhaps I should delve into certain arts, we should say. Oh, what's up? What's up, 𝕿𝖗? 𝕿𝖗, where are you? Where's 𝕿𝖗? 𝕿𝖗? 𝕿𝖗! Where did 𝕿𝖗 go? Okay. 𝕿𝖗. Where's 𝕿𝖗? Oh, okay. You're right here. Do you find something, 𝕿𝖗?
Challenge for me.
Looks like there was a fire here. Have mercy. Make the pain stop. Oh. We're going to this gentleman over here. Help me, it hurts. Birdman, please. Mercy! Mercy, my lord! The young man gasped for air through his burnt lips, slipping in and out of delirium. His skin is dripping from his gaunt body like melting wax from a candle. His eyes, somehow intact, alive, clear, and filled with pain, stare at you from under his caked eyelids. Do you know anything about this mark next to you? Captain Guppo says indifferently. He tries to turn his head, and his blackened skin crunching as it opens up in the scarlet cracks. Ew. A spitter came. He painted the symbol, then he gave me water, and he whispered in a strange verse. He told me to memorize and recite it later, so that it would help with cum. And then here you are, I should... He begins to whisper, his lips twisted in pain. To such smirched soil, her mercy did she grant. Last breath. You should... Like, he's been... his throat is all torched. Last breath.
Knife met hand moved. Removed from chest path to death. Her duty blasts the bomb for those who suffer.
More verses. The correction is clear. In order to follow the saint's footsteps, you're supposed to kill this young man and thus release him from his suffering. The cultists want to see if you understand the philosophy of those you seek. The death cultists want us to end this poor man? J. Those sick lunatics. Anyone can be saved so long as they still want to live. J's fingers move towards her neck, augment instinctively. At the very least, they deserve an attempt to save them. Is that how she got her neck? Is that her throat was slit? At the very least, they deserve an attempt to save them before you discard their life. Assess this man's chances for survival. Test succeeded. He might survive, but he'll be maimed for life. Too much of his muscle has been charred down to the bone, and even if he does retain some ability to move, pain will be his constant companion. His motor skills have been damaged beyond repair. A broken man or a corpse. Time will soon tell. I think I do need to get more heretical. Oh, man. Like, I don't want to, like, piss off Jay, but at the end, like, I made a determination, like, if the game offers me a chance to do Irolet and Jay together and, like, make them and, like be an asshole to both of them, then I would kind of want to do that. That's what role-playing is all about, right? Oh, man. I don't like playing evil characters or, like, bad characters. Heretical. All of us must face a fated outcome. The man shakes his head desperately, ripping open the crust that has begun to form over his burns. No, please, I'm begging you. Oh, God. He should have stayed away. Not burning alive is a skill issue. Let's see here. I needed to... So let's see here. What do I need? I need... 45 to... I need a lot, actually, for 103. So I need 200 in order to get to the next rank of heretical. And I think once I get to heretical 3, I can actually use the teleportation cape that I got. I think I'm good otherwise, right? Adherence. Wait, what we got? Purged by fire. In the first round of the combat, all critical hits scored by the Rogue Trader's party inflict burning 10. I think I might have been trying to get rank 2 adherent. Let's see here. First round of the combat, all critical hits scored by the Rogue Trader party inflict in the first round of combat. So after that first round, this does not work. In addition, all fire damage for enemies increased by 1 for each level of rank, conviction, dogmatic. I mean, it's not really that big a deal. It's only the first round of combat. Burning 10? It's not really that great. I mean, if I happen to get enough dogmatic to get to rank 2, that's great. But otherwise, I won't really worry about it. So Master Command. I think I got this. In the first round of the combat, the Rogue Traders and their allies gain +2 additional MP. That's good. Yeah, I think we're just going to go heretical choices from now on. The Lord Captain's mind has been ensorcelled by his Freaky Friday spell that's been cast upon him. Let's see. But what if pi? Let me pose that to you. David Wilmer, hey, what's going on? What planet you landed on in the game? What planet you landed on in the game? Your game world for 140,000 Rogue Trader. We're in the depths of our ship. We're doing the Cult of the 𝕿𝖗 quest chain, because we're going to go back to the point where we can unlock Gene Stealer quest, because we didn't do Gene Stealer quest. Oh, and good morning, David. We're trying to unlock Gene Stealer quest so we can do Gene Stealer quest, because we didn't do that the first playthrough. But yeah, and we're locking into heretical. It's happening. Enrich Montag. Enrich, how's it going? I like Enrich, yeah. Einrich. The Infernus Master salutes you cheerfully with his low stake. Lord Captain, what an unexpected encounter. What brings you to this compartment? The famous cuisine and magnificent vistas, no doubt. I seek the 𝕿𝖗 temple. Do you know where they are hiding? I haven't the foggiest idea. That's probably for the best. I have my hands full as it is. What are you doing here? I'm here to patch up the salvage. Locomotive number 3 under the tech priest's supervision. That old grump is my personal favorite on this entire freight line. Every couple of years, Savage gets mad. His boiler catches fire and he starts spitting steam at the repairman. And guess who they call to take care of him in these situations? The Inferni, of course. And after I've done all the most dangerous work, that's when the iron brains come in. But that's all right. I love Savage. Cool. When he's in a good mood, the feeling you get standing at his levers and speeding down the freight line is indescribable. I envy those tech priest drivers who get to operate them every day. The roar of the boiler, the wheels thumping like mad, and the furious power pulsating in your hands, responding to even the slightest movement. How about there's a mischievous spark in Iron's eyes. I introduce you.
I cannot... yes, of course. I cannot turn down an offer like that.
Cool. In a lot of the ships that I had in my campaigns that I ran, all the players had like these type of like mag trains, support lifts, stuff like that. I don't think we had any weirder transportations on the ship. The panel before you, covered with technical ruins, lumens, and levers. The platform shakes with the boiler's mighty vibration as the iron beast beneath their feet growls and snorts ferociously. What if we can we crash this train? I didn't even think about that. I feel like this will be our heretical campaign, but also will be our like goofy campaign. If we can like steer our ship to like crash in, you know, one of the things I actually am kind of going back to, since we actually did the ending of the campaign previously, like I was thinking to myself, like, what if we ended this particular campaign by trying to get back to the Imperium, because that instantly kills you, right? Like we would have like an interesting ending, no doubt about that, where the Lord Captain just goes insane. He's like, I'm going to go head into this warp storm. I want to go back to the Imperium. And he just kills everyone. Einar squints contentedly and whispers the litany of 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖊 before turning to you. The machine is angry and refuses to obey. Right now, Savage is powered only by the auxiliary maneuvering engine. We'll need to start the main rotor if we want to take a trip down to the freight line. Listen to the rumbling noise coming from the boiler. The stubborn machine does indeed seem remarkably similar to a wild beast. The roar of the mechanism resembles a horse growling, and the scarlet glow of the lumens on its control panel make you think of the malicious glare of a predator. The spirit of this machine is vicious, but it's strong and lively. Resolutely grab the biggest lever. Yeah, the Lord Captain knows what to do. A deafening clang resides in Savage's innards, and the train shudders on the foot, preparing to leap forward. Whoa! Careful, your lordship! Don't let this monster smash us into the nearest wall. Don't tell me what to do! Put your hand on the big lever and gently give it a pull. Very gently! Einric's face is focused, but his voice has not lost any of his playful cheer. Savage does not like being hassled. Jay, I've had oh, everyone else is... That's a bad sign. When, like, everyone else is not on the ship, and I am. I've had experience with mechanisms that prefer to be turned on quickly and boldly. I see what you're getting at. I guess this engine just have a different design. Jay innocently runs a finger along the control panel. 𝕿𝖊𝖊 tilts her head into the side in confusion. Is this still a conversation about Monkey machines or something else? Oh, I don't have the option of just like crashing this train. Grab the lever and gently pull it towards you. A few erratic jolts shake the platform, and an indignant groan emanates from the depths of the machine. An intense shudder passes through the lever and down into the palm of your hands, and there's a strange feeling of emptiness in your stomach. Savage's fiery heart is stirring. Do you feel it? There's so much energy and defiance in him. I kind of like it. I'm of the mindset that in Warhammer 40... I mean, there's a lot of interpretations of all aspects of Warhammer 40,000, like stories and story beats. I think machine spirits are like a real thing with like intent. Maybe more like a animalistic intent, but like intent nonetheless. Like it's not just something that the tech priest and humanity makes up. But because even if it's not like that, I kind of like that aspect of it a little bit more. Do you feel it? There's so much energy and defiance in him. This is a rocket, not a locomotive. Unruly and enamored with speed, but quite willing to submit to a strong hand. There's almost a loving tenderness in Iron's voice. Pull the lever toward you, smoothly but firmly, then pump the fuel with his command rune. Much like yourself. Pull the lever and pump the fuel. A new explosion inside Savage shakes the iron body, causing your eyes to see double from the vibration. Now you're feeling his real power. He could run down the entire freight lane in a minute given the chance, and kill everyone who rides him at that speed. Now, try applying some thrust to the main rotor. Grab those paired levers and give them a firm tug. Okay. Tech use 100%. Reach for the ornately carved levers and awaken the beast. Torrent of steam bursts from this slit in front of your face, but Ironwood definitely covers you with his shoulder. A moment later, you realize that you cannot hear a thing, or rather, you hear only one thing: the roar of the engine, triumphant and powerful. It looks like Savage has agreed not to kill us both. that's no good.
He must know who its real master is. Go, train, go!
The tech cards. This is like if I played this character in an actual Warhammer 40,000 campaign, I'd be dead within the first few like sessions, or like all the other players at the table would hate me. His Tech Priest Guardians would be pleased. All hail the Lord Captain. You have subdued a mighty beast today. Now I'm sure you have urgent business to attend to, and it's time for me to drive Savage down the line and see if he's feeling cranky. Okay. Please have a good trip.
Number 4! A change of plans. Full speed ahead. We're heading down the freight line.
Not quite, your lordship. I said Savage is not dangerous, but not dangerous ends right here. He might just pull a stunt and bake us to death during the ride. It would be better if the ship did not lose another Lord Captain.
Ah,
he's not gonna let me do it. Boo! 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 He's not gonna let me kill it myself. Have a good trip. Like, I feel like I was just asking myself for a second, like, if I accidentally killed myself and ended the campaign permanently, would I just say, you know what? You know, it's good. This is his destiny. And, like, move on to the next campaign? I don't know. Maybe. It seems how dedicated I am to playing campaigns like this. Everything's going to be all right. Savage should never try to fry me, right? You know, I was kind of curious about you guys. If you're watching this in the post-recording or in live, let me know if you'd be interested in doing this. I was kind of thinking about going back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous on Sundays. I know this is our unofficial Warhammer 40,000 Sundays, and it is very incredibly unofficial, but I started streaming Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous as one of my test games, right? But like I did, it was before I really, you know, had connections and like knew what I was doing. So I was thinking about, and I never actually finished Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I have all the DLCs and stuff like that. I think with like mods and stuff like that that are out there, I'm sure we can put together like a really cool long-running campaign. I do love Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, but let me know in the comments below or over in Discord if you guys would like to see it. I tend to not go back to games after a very long period of time, but you know, it might be kind of nice to see if there's a hunger for it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, everything's going to be all right. Savage would never try to fry me. Right, Savage? Cool. Well, we got experience. Savage went so fast we didn't even see him go. Let's see here. We didn't even watch for the blood spatters, did we? Let's see. For sir. Yes, a lordship. I think we're going this way. Maybe. Flute. Oh, flute player. Can we actually... Look at this! Oh, he's playing for the rat! Oh my god, look at this! I never even noticed this the first playthrough. Look at this! It's a rat performance! Go, man, go! 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 Go, man, go! 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 Go, man, go! Oh my god, I never noticed this. Awesome. Can we talk to him? A group of gawkers are crowded around a makeshift stage watching a strange duo perform. A man with odd-looking goggles push up on his forehead, hands wrapped in warm leather gloves, plays a tune on a handmade flute. Next to him sits a stack of crates supporting some kind of game board. A scruffy rat is rolling small glass balls around a board. What? What? This is the best thing I've ever seen. Several workers empty their pockets and start throwing ration cards, bolts, nuts, and even a few power panels into the small chest next to the board. The flute player winks at the crowd and switches to a different tune. The rat squeaks excitedly and starts rolling the colorful balls the players have chosen around the maze of tunnels on the board, but not a single one reaches the goal, a hole marked with a red circle. The rat just rolls all the balls Off the board into dead ends. Okay. One of the first group of players gets their hopes dashed and leave empty-handed. New workers immediately take their place. What? Earlet. By giving into the primitive pastimes, get out of here, Earlet. Just let them have fun. By giving into her primitive pastimes, they forget the filth and poverty around them. They're deceived by laughter, a brief flash of pleasure, an imaginary moment of relief before the sleeping mind sinks into meaningless existence once more. Boo! Party pooper! Solve the mystery of the trick by analyzing the individual elements. Listen to the tune. Sure. The rat's movements, from the flicks of its tail to when and where it pushes the balls, obeys his master's wordless commands with uncanny precision. The notes, pauses, the rhythm, every part of the melody serves as a signal to the flute player's tiny assistant. Interesting. Okay. Jay whispers conspiratorially into your ear, "Hey, Shireen, what do you say I give it a go? With all those poor ashmegs were busy losing all of their paltry possessions, I think I figured out the swindler's tricks. Can we let her do it? Watch the rat. 35%? Sure. Failed. The rat's behavior is erratic and mindless. When it rolls yet another ball past the goal, the crowd groans loudly and starts laughing at the loser. Interesting. Solve the mystery of the trick by analyzing its individual elements. Your mind... Was it? Decision consequences. Your outstanding intellect is known beyond the bounds of your home system. Okay, sure. Your mind eliminates all irrelevant factors. The ruffling of cards, the clamor of bolt nuts, the excited gestures of the native folk believing in luck where calculation reigns. There's only the game and its structural components, a skillfully crafted melody, and a trained pet that is smarter than it looks. Where others hear music, you discern a series of coded directives being issued to the flute player's tiny accomplice. The rat distracts the spectators with a show of clumsiness while precisely following his master's commands. This is how the balls just happen to roll past the goal, much to the chagrin of the participants. Okay. I'm entertained. A fine show. The crowd, which has been too absorbed in the performance to notice your presence, turns towards you, expressing a frightful awe appearing in the workers' faces. Many start whispering prayers. Flute player. Look at this guy, man. Interesting. The flute player's clear eyes widen in surprise, and with an open and friendly smile, he says, "Many a grand story of the Lord Captain's generosity is told, and I swear on my own flute, today I will add another. To a fortune peddler, the Lord Captain's grace is a gift from fate itself. He applauds you with gratitude, and the workers kindly join in." Interesting. Perhaps you would like to trade us some of that captain's fortune of yours, your lordship. The flute player bows respectfully and gestures to the game board. The crowd buzzes with anticipation. I'm actually really curious about this. I don't know if this is more in character with the Lord Captain, but I personally am like fascinated by this character. I don't know if he was added after we played the campaign last time, but we totally missed him. We have not encountered him before. And who is it are you? Who are you? I am but one of many. The man gestures broadly at the teaming station. A voice in the crowd, a cog in the mechanism. His humble servant, flute player is what they call me, because that is what I am. I make up tunes and give the people respite after a hard day's work. That is very curious looking flute. How did you come by it? I pass his instrument gently. My mother loves music. She used to hum beautiful melodies to me, and when she passed away, I carved his flute from her hip bone. Oh, Warhammer, and learned how to play. Carved a flute from her hip bone and learned how to play. Out of sorrow and respect for her memory. Play one of the local favorites for me. The flute player smiles mysteriously and brings the flute to his lips. A simple, brisk melody pours out of the instrument. The glum faces of the workers and traders soften a little, and the tunnels around you seem less squalid than before. Long after the music has stopped, many continue to whistle the unassuming ditty. A flute needs no words to sing, but I am curious to know what story your melody tells. The flute player awkwardly adjusts the goggles on his forehead. The story of a simple man from the lower decks, honest with himself and others. He risked his life to protect the oppressed from those corrupted by power. Okay. He takes from the rich and gives the needy. Oh, I don't like that. He helps without asking for anything in return. Nemesis, the hero of tales, admired by children and grown folk alike. Okay, so this is kind of fleshing out Nemesis a little bit. I do kind of remember Nemesis from the previous campaign. I guess he's like a series of... It's a title. It's a name, but it's also a title, right? The hero of the people have kind of like picked up. Many good times coming for day, and there will be no need for songs about fighting injustice. By opposing a legitimate authority, violating society's travel creed, everyone else glorifies him as a criminal. Persuasion, a fairy tale indeed, risking one's life for nothing. Instead of playing for yes, persuasion 99%. A fairy tale indeed, risking oneself for nothing. If such a man truly existed, he would be profiteering from your misfortunes in secret. The people look at each other in shock upon hearing that unpalatable fact of life. Their joy evaporates, leaving only the bitterness of disappointment. The flute player smiles regretfully. I think the song just died, but I won't despair. Life always suggests new melodies that people will like. So, what are you suggesting that we... It just goes right over Captain Guppo's head. Are you suggesting we play a game? Flute player smiles eagerly. Please, bless our little lark with your attention. 60% for Jay? Explain the rules of the game to me. It's simple. On this board, you play with fate. Choose a ball and give it to Bolts, my rat. Oh, man, I love this. If she rolls your ball into the pocket marked in red within 3 minutes, you win. If she doesn't, you lose. Simple. Oh, I see. So he's like trained the rat, so the rat will kind of do whatever he wants. So they always kind of lose. Interesting. Jay, you wanted to play, did you not? Be my guest. Okay, cool. Jay leans over the game board and starts humming a slow 𝕽𝖆𝖊𝖊𝖗 melody, snapping her augmented fingers in time with the music. Oh, so he's disrupting the signals to the rat. The rat stops dead in its tracks, listening for the new rhythm, and then drives the ball right into the red hole. I dedicate this victory to you, Shireen. Awesome. The flute player glances at the rat, somewhat disheartened. It's true what they say. The power of the great lies in the talents of their followers. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Captain Guppo doesn't really care. I don't really want to give him anything. Shall we play another round? I'm sorry, Lordship, but I don't have anything left to play for. He smiles sheepishly and he turns out his torn pockets. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I certainly won't forget my faithful meeting with the Lord Captain. The flute player clears the board in one deft movement and begins a new tune. Yes. Well met. Citizen. Interesting. That's kind of cool. What's this? Disgusting. What? The character suffers a negative penalty to all skills. A foray into the world of lower decks is a great trial for any highborn. Oh, because he's highborn. He's highborn, so he's disgusted with everything. Okay, interesting. I'll take it. What's this? Move the cover. Athletics 20. I think there's a lot of new elements in this quest. They did add a lot of new like little beeps and bloops and blobs. Athletics? Can I do it?
A minor setback.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, I'll take it. Whatever. Trophies. Oh, did I... Fatigued. Each stack inflicts a negative 10 penalty to strength, toughness, agility, reduces MP by 1. I could just go rest and then come right back. I think I am going to do that really quick. Do another compartment. We'll go back really quick. We'll rest. Because I don't want to... I mean, it's really annoying. We have... I mean, narratively, we have plenty of time to actually find out what's going on. So, if we can set up camp, go back to our quarters, have a little rest... I think that's totally fine. Right? Boop. Let's see here. Officer deck, Lord Captain's quarters, void ship bridge. Boop. I'm not really sure what lore stuff we can actually talk about today, since I wasn't really planning this out. But I figured that what were we talking about last time? We were talking about the a Xenos race. I forget exactly what the name was offhand, but they were the kind of cross between a diesel punk xenomorph in Warhammer 40,000. But I guess we could talk about the Strixus a little bit. That would be fun. I do really like the Strixus. The Strixus are a kind of a pug-faced, like a almost like a translucent skin, a near translucent skin, like pug-faced, gangly alien, right? Which are kind of like almost like a mercantile Xenos race, right? I used them in my last campaign. I played them a little bit differently, how they're presented in the Warhammer 40,000 pen and paper proper, but we can talk a little bit about that, right? Oh, no, don't go there. You want to go over here. I'm gonna go back. But yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit. In fact, while it's loading, I will try. Let's see, freight line. Let's do that, and let's do that. Let's do. I'll load up some books that we can actually talk about. Let's see there, and my books are right here. And loop. Cool. I have the majority of Warhammer 40,000 books, like in the paper version, and in PDF form. Just to let you guys know. I might be bragging a little bit. I have multiple copies of the Warhammer 40,000 core Rogue Trader core rulebook too. Oh, it's still loading? Okay, whatever. Load times are so bad. I think it's like a lot of this loading times, I just need to get like a good fast solid state drive to help kind of combat some of the stuff. I noticed like one of the reasons why I don't play MMOs as much on my own anymore is just because like the time sink that they tend to infer upon me. And I've noticed that it's just kind of, there's a lot of just waiting and without really playing, right? And that's starting to be a case with a lot of like next gen games I've been playing. Like they perform really well on my computer, but it's like the load times tend to be kind of like annoying. And there's a lot of times where it's a full load right after you die or have to move to a different area. So I feel like I'm spending a lot of more time on the load screen. So what I'm trying to get at is that I stopped doing MMOs because there's just a lot of like downtime in a lot of games, and a lot of like single player games these days because of load screens. Like there's more downtime. So I don't know, man. It's kind of a pain.
None shall stand in my way.
Hopefully, just getting a good solid state drive will fix that problem. But we'll see. Okay, let's go make sure to get some loot on the way down there. Let's see, there should be goods, yes. Get some goods. Yes. I actually need a lot more Medicaid kits. I think I might be running a little bit low. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. The rogue shirt. Yes. Gaze upon my beauty. I think I have to go here, right? Open door? Yes. Yes.
A job for me.
Cool. Excellent. And burnt man. Here's what it is. Life is tough, my friend. Oh. Some careless person who had their house burned down left their stuff for me.
Victory awaits.
Oh, wait. How do I get... Oh, I have to do another athletic check. Wait, how do I get up there? 20% athletic check. How do... Go up? Yes, okay. I think 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖊𝑗 climbing up. What a talented little dog. 20% is probably going to inflict some penalties. I saved it.
Follow my lead.
Assignment completed.
Okay, do we get any penalties? I don't think so. I think we lucked out. What do we got? We got rations. We got charred scrapped parchment. You can barely make out the crude scribbled words on the burnt note. Then past the marketplace, a pestle fork will be ruin the entire operation on tracks. You'll find a little gift for us. Give it to him and you'll see for yourself. Okay, sure. 45. Save. We're just casually walking through a burning place. Okay, cool. That's good. And beep, 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 beep. What is he? He's shuddering. Like I said, skill issue. I have to go up here. Okay, go up this way. What's this? Dead man. Okay, we're on the lookout. We're looking for the arrows. We're going this way. Beggar. Okay. And goods? Yes. I think I sort of remember this guy from the last campaign. He has a magnificent beard. A sinewy, middle-aged man watches over the bustle of the bay with a detached expression. Every so often, whenever his eyes linger on the blood mark inscribed nearby, his face changes strangely, and his hands clench into fists. Just as you begin to hear a rumble from an approaching train, the man's gaze turns towards the track. He leans forward. What is it you think you're doing? What? I didn't... A dead man. The man starts and almost falls, but manages to keep his balance. In the dim lumen light, you notice old scars scatter across his body. The scars seem vaguely familiar. Look at the man's scars. The scars all vary in length, width, depth, and shape. However, you notice a pattern in the way the scars are aligned, as well as a series of faded symbols on the man's rough skin. Death cultists bear similar marks to their bodies. But spinners are constantly renewing their wounds, while this man's look long since healed. Your eyes always seem to return to that blood symbol. What do you know about it? It is a symbol of the blood-spun web. I come here every watch, but haven't been here before now. I guess today must be my special day. You know the symbols of the blood-spun web. You bear similar scars. Are you a spinner? I was, but I failed to complete all my final assignment, so I was exiled from the cult. The vizier told me to kill the one who would be at a certain junction of a utility tunnel at a certain hour. I went to the appointed spot, then waited, and after an hour, 2, 5, the junction was still empty. No one came. After an hour of waiting, I finally realized the person at the junction had been me this whole time. It was my turn to go to the undying one, but I was afraid. I couldn't do my duty, and I ran. You're right. If humankind follows its own paths, as the children of Surian do, this monkey would be the one who had lost his path. Okay, so what? What are you trying to say? Sometimes I feel like a lot of these like elf characters, they're just trying to spout out just wisdom for the sake of wisdom. So the spinners simply let you go. They made no attempts to find you and kill you. There's no pursuit. I thought I'd see their black blades at the very next day. Instead, years passed away. I want to try something. Hold on one second. This is just me having fun. Let's see. Dead man. Dead man. Beggar, enforcer. What? Wait. Can I rename him? Oh no, I can't I can't rename him. I was thinking about renaming him to something stupid. When I truly got desperate, I went to the Temple of Death myself, but no one there would speak to me. When I gave my name, they just whispered, Sebrid has gone to the Undying One. They looked at me like I wasn't even there. I lived there like this for 20 years, like a coward, like a dead man. You were ordered to die? I'm sorry. You were ordered to die? For what reason? The man looks at you. But there are some who choose to leave this righteous path. These earn penance in due time. Her whip sings vengeance on a renegade menace. Her blades pass sentence. For cowards seek to hide their hearts, but death makes no pretense. It takes what is due in essence. He stops and adds hoarsely, the third verse of the Song of the Trailing Blood. The vizier recited it to me before sending me on my final assignment. I didn't realize at the time, but this was my judgment. Another verse, another step along the trail of blood. The riddle is trivial. It's time for death to take what is due, and the vizier is waiting expectantly for you to carry out the sentence passed years ago. There are plenty of reasons. I sowed death. I offered him the souls of the most pleasing men and women I could find because he kindled my passions. I killed well-off crewmen who didn't deserve their wealth, and I took their thrones. I killed enforcers who looked me into my eyes without fear, because I wanted to be feared. I reveled in bloodshed. I betrayed the tenants. I realized it, but I couldn't help it because I enjoyed it. So he's a murderer for a murderer's sake. Vicious Ashmag. You use people's faith in the exiled one to justify abusing the power that was given to you. Adira. Oh, you poor thing. I think I'm going to cry. You couldn't stop slicing people up. That must be so hard for you. Even my whispers have nothing to say to a pathetic tale like that. I bet they're thinking, what a lousy self-absorbed sack of scum. Do we have any... Oh, heretical. Noted. Like, see, the problem I have with the heretical path, a lot of it is just like evil for evil's sake. As Emperor's anointed, I hereby overturn the vizier's verdict. The cult ruined your life, and for what? A few mere killings? Heretical press 3. You're right, Lord Captain. Vizier taught me to serve, to kill. I do what I was chosen to do. Yeah, go enlist in my personal guard. I have need for... We're all little... Aren't we all psychopathic murderers around here? Playing a little bit out of character, but yes, don't we all? I mean, we're all existing in this effed up world. I did what I was chosen to do, and they punished me for it. They've kept me living in fear almost my entire life. The man's color's eyes filled with malice. Thank you for opening my eyes. It's time for Seabird to return, and for dead men to disappear along with his creators. What a nice man. Okay. Okay, yeah. I would say, like, if I was actually role-playing the captain, I would try to enlist him as a seasoned killer. Put his resources to good use, you know? Labor, Prickleberry, goods. Can I go down and do? Let's see. Keep on going this way, I suppose. Wait, this way?
Check this out.
We got something? Ooh, lots of stuff. We got junk. I love trash. Trash is so good. I love my trash. What's going on? Another instance that requires my lordly wisdom. How many times do I need to tell you, ungrateful maggots? Mistakes must be paid for. Have mercy, by the throne's name, I beg you! 12. The battered worker throws himself at your feet with it. Touches the toe of your boot with his dirty palms. Your gracious lordship, hand to the god emperor, save your unworthy servant. Can I rename him? Can I only rename my party members? Let's see here. 12. Oh, no, I can't. Yeah, I think I can only rename my party members. Unfortunately. Yeah, that sucks. I can add portraits to him. See, go. Initiated enforcer. Get lost. Oh, my lord. The enforcer's heavy baton pummels the man's back and shoulders several times. His bones crack audibly. Oof. My sincerest apologies, Lord Captain. Your boot. I'll clean it right away. A murmur of discontent breaks out among the gawkers who have gathered around. None of the other workers dare come closer, but an anger on their face is plain to see. The first to do your job. Keep the worker out of my way, boss of filth. Make it quick. I have places to be. Yeah, polish my boots. The enforcer hastens to remove one of his gloves and starts shining your boot. Almost done, Lord Captain. Yes, of course. Low insistent descent begins to rise in the crowd, only to die back down as soon as the enforcers brandish their batons. The murmurs immediately turn and pleas for mercy. Awareness has succeeded. A sullen, red-bearded man with keen black eyes draws your attention. His oddly piercing gaze seems to size you up the whole time you were speaking, but now he has hastened to conceal himself behind the gawkers. The next thing you know, you're watching him hurry deeper into the tunnels. Interesting. God. The enforcer hisses at the worker vindictively. Oh yes, 12. This time I'm going to break 13 of your fingers and ribs. A lesson for slimy accomplices. Oh my god. Carry on, citizens. Careless citizens are always having their arms and legs and ribs and arms broken. Get back to work. I never did that puzzle before.
It's about
Like I can
time.
like pick up greetings, your lordship. I think I can pick up like a crate and like drop it on one of the people, can I? I think. Open this up. Get the thing. Get the thing that I want to get. Look at my so nothing in here. Go back up here. Let's play around with the crane. Come on.
Victory awaits.
Cool. What do we have? We have up and down. So let's see. Which crate? Up. Crane activated, Lord Captain. Is there something else we can pick up? How far can we go? Okay, so just one space. Okay, and let's go. Aha! So pick up the crate. Now we have to attach it to the container manually.
I won't
Okay.
tolerate weakness.
Can I attach it manually? Secure the container in place. Sure. Alright. Now we can move it up, right? Now, did we unlock something or can I drop it? I think I might have to drop it. Or I think I might not be able to drop it. This unlocks a spot. What is this? Someone has sketched a hasty portrait of the worker with a red scarf over his face. The artwork reeks of chemical pigment. Judging by the layer of flaked off paint that has been removed several times already. Can I do... Nuggle, hey, what's going on? OG Skyrim was so bad about load screens. Yeah. You know, one of the things, I do kind of want to play Skyrim again. There's a lot of just really weird combinations that we can actually get into. Because, like, sometimes we want to focus on, like, modded gameplay, like, unique gameplay experiences. That was, like, the goal of the original, like, tenets and goals for my channel, right? One of the things that I really had fun with, there's a mod that lets you play as a giant race, right? And also a mod that you can, like, do, like, a ragdoll physics. Like, you can actually pick up guys and, like, throw them, right? So it'd be fun having kind of like a giant rampage type mod. There's also one that lets you be shift into different types of werewolves. And there's one that would be really wild. It would be like a were-mammoth mod where you can like shapeshift into a hybrid mammoth and then get all kind of like the giant powers. We can like pick up guys, throw them, barrel through them. Just use like the physics engine in like just weird ways. I would love to do that for Skyrim, but I don't know. Lots of stuff on my plate. Maybe someday. We'll need. Wait, can I do... So I move this? Nope. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Wanted to... do this. Yes. Let's see here. How responsible can I be? You lost the precise 7 machinery. Okay, cool. Okay, now.
It's
What a
about
day.
time.
More wisdom I can give to my lower decks. Oh, yes. Carry on, citizens. Ooh, more stuff. Good stuff or trash? Ooh, wait, what? Power pick. This weapon has an extra attack action. Huh. Wait. 10-3-16, power weapon. This weapon, piercing strike. 2 AP. This weapon has an extra attack action, which increases armor penetration of all subsequent attacks made against the same target by +1 for 1 round. Stacks. Interesting. Huh. Piercing strike. I mean, I think that's what it means. It doesn't mean you get a free attack action. Interesting. Armor penetration hold. That makes it input. 1 round stacks. Okay, so you can pump up the AP, and you can like just pierce through armor. It's already 45 armor penetration. That's really interesting. I don't think I really have like any builds ready for it though. So it's not going to be really useful for me. Interesting though.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
You know what I was just thinking would be a really fun thing to do on our lore talks? We could actually talk about the Strixus, right? We could actually write out our own imagined companion, Xenos companion, a Strixus Xeno companion for a Future Rogue Trader DLC. Probably wouldn't happen, but it's fun to do anyways, right? But that would be a really fun thing to do together. Let's see, we're going this way. Move the container. Athletics 40. Oh god, I need to pump up athletics for my party. Saved. Move the container. I'll load it if it...
And dump.
I think I've locked... Cool. I think I lucked out with a lot of the rolls. I've been rolling under 20%. What do we got here? Look at all the stuff. Look at all the stuff that we got. Chunk. Okay, cool. Great. Totally worth it. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. Really would appreciate it if you would do so. Don't really have any specific goals, but I think one of the next ones that YouTube does want for me is to make it to 1,000 subscribers. But if you can help me out, that'd be great. Anything, little thing you can do would be great. I think the subscriber benefits should be kicking in for my YouTube subscribers or for the memberships subscribers. I think I got some emojis down and I think I set up everything right, but I'm still working on that. I just got the YouTube partnership not too long ago. And thank you again, by the way, to all the people in the community who didn't already hear that. But yeah, I did make it to 500. I was approved for a YouTube partnership, and I really do appreciate everyone who's had the kind words that they show me and a lot of support. You know, people want me to, you know, take this on full time, and you know, I'll do what I can. You know, right now it's just a hobby, but we'll see what the future holds. You know. Let's see. Tech use 100%. J. Open up.
And it's done.
Anything in here? What's going on? Beggar, beggar, beggar.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Oh, look at these guys following me. Thief leader. Oh, I should probably... I think this is a combat. I'm not 100% sure. But just in case... I will have
Give us a target.
Solomon go in by himself. Several people are eagerly rummaging through a rack filled with weapons from the Enforcer's arsenal. A big man with pockmarked face is the first to react to your presence, and he attracts others' attention with a piercing whistle and barks out, "Who are you? There's not supposed to be anyone here." Ah! It doesn't matter. Identify yourself. Take a closer look at the suspicious individuals. Makeshift armor peeks out from beneath their ragged clothes, and their battered weapons display a patchwork of crude repairs. The group stares longingly at the rack where their plasteel gleams, restlessly clutching their humble weapons. You notice that the little finger on every person's right hand has been cut off. It's hardly a coincidence. So, Thieves Guild.
I am Rogue Trader, Lord Captain Guppo Teawhistle, and you will explain the happenings in here.
People turn to stare at you in disbelief and exchange heated whispers. The excitement is interrupted by the leader's roar. "What are you gawping at? Hurry up and bend your bend your backs is right and proper. Your lordship, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself. It's not every day that you see the rogue trader in the flesh. And as for this, the man casts a grim glance at the rack. I won't insult you by denying it. You've caught us red-handed.
Tell me why I should execute you on the spot.
Well, you could execute us, but who would take our place? Shameless scum who would rob and kill their heart's content? Bastards who would accept mutants on their gangs and pray to the archenemy? There have always been outlaws in the ship. You're better off with outlaws like us who don't go too far and who keep the heretics down. That's true. Who are you? The Hard Nines gang. Oh, okay. 9 fingers. I mean a brotherhood from the train spot Bay 9. Don't think we're parasites. We do our bit for the prosperity of the ship. We're sort of assistants to the enforcers, self-appointed. We make sure that the order is maintained in compartments where the enforcers are too lazy or greedy for bribes. We put a stop to robbery and free thinking, and well, we accept a small contribution as a show of thanks. Solomon, even shooting them feels like a waste of bullets. I doubt these bottom-feeding degenerates have ever heard of Lex in their lives. The Lex, eh? What kind of crew is that? With all the rust rats from Freight 10 or the pipe runners from the main sorting hub? Why do you want my weapons? Are you going to rebel? To do business. The gang leader smiles ingratiatingly. We're no rebels. If anyone blasphemes against your lordship, we call those troublemakers to order. And we shed blood for the flagship without fear. I suppose that makes us defenders of the ship? The thug raises eyebrows questioningly and looks at you expectantly. 𝕿𝖗𝖆𝖊𝖊, why stop there? You might as well call yourself saints and say the fate of the whole dynasty rests on your shoulders. You obviously did not expect anyone to be here. Are the enforcers providing cover for you? I wish. Frenzo, the newly appointed captain, had our informant strung up. Okay, he just took over, so maybe like the last regime was with them. I don't know how Captain Guppo would actually feel about this. Like, it's probably something they would just kind of, well, this is too annoying to think about. I'll have someone else beneath me deal with it. And our informant strung up. He's tightening the screws, damn it. We can barely breathe. Today's the last time we'll come to pick over this compartment. I mean, I kind of got with the why his little fingers are cut off. I mean, I think the Captain Guppo would be like, you know, there's people that will deal with this, but for now, just kind of go and do your own thing. This is not really worth my time. This is not really worth my time. Take some of the ship, serve my crew loyally, and listen to your enforcers from now on. Hear that, boys? The Lord Captain himself is expecting good things from us. We can't let him down. We will fulfill your command to the letter. I mean, Solomon didn't say we should kill him, so. I mean, I don't know. I think I made an appropriate role-playing decision.
New challenge for me?
This is my ship. I can do whatever I want. Whatever I want.
A job for me.
Okay. Junk. That's fine. Anything else? Goods. Sure. In fact, you know what? I probably should recycle some of my stuff. If I have too much things, that is never good. Add to cargo. Power sword, add to cargo. Las gun, add to cargo. Cool. All right.
None shall stand in my way.
Yeah, it is what it is. Nothing too crazy going on. Okay. Blood stains. Going the right way. Aw. They're hugging. Not stabbing. Right? The kid's been waiting for you. How was your shift? We worked hard. I helped out a friend who was with the loading, gave me some cards. Take them in exchange for your new shoes. Yours are all worn out. Seems like they could just, like, make their shoes, right? There's so many people here. Like, you just, like tradesmen would just kind of come around, right? Oh, thank you. I've made your bed for you, so once we've eaten, you go and rest the little ones, and I'll head to the marketplace and leave you in peace. Why did the Emperor send me to... Why did the Emperor send me to such a wonderful wife? Aw. That's nice. Can I talk to him? Alright. Sniveling, unwashed masses. They probably smell so bad in here. Oh, what do we have here? Goods. Oh, all the way down there. Looking around here. Ooh, look at this. What do you have on tap, my friend? Delicious. Get some really good corpse starch porridge. Only the best corpse starch is served on my ship. Corpse starch and toilet amnesec. God, that's gross.
Victory awaits.
Glory to his Lord Captain ship. Foreman. The foreman. The day the Lord Captain wandered into our slum will be remembered in legends. The broad-shouldered man raises his hand in greeting. His old prosthetic creaks plaintively as it takes on the weight of his body. The locals and enforcers call me the foreman. I have no other name. You might say I am in charge here in this hole of a place. You recognize the shaggy red beard and the keen black eyes. This is the man who is watching you during your encounter with the enforcer and the station worker. Interesting. See, what are you doing here? Tell me what the life is like for the workers in the lower deck. Cooking the fats. No, we're doing... I think all the times we're doing heretical, we're just going to do heretical. We got to build up a heretical stat. I saw you near the marketplace. No, actually, what are you cooking in that vat? Believe it or not, this soup is made from mold slime and technical drain water that's simmering here in the vat for at least 200 years non-stop. See the growth on the walls over there? We harvest it, dry it out, and use it for to season the soup. If we're lucky, the smell attracts a void rat, and someone gets to have meat in their bowl. Ooh. Delectable. The foreman points a finger proudly towards the vat. It's for those who can't even earn a ration card. I feed them in exchange for services or favors. Sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. People keep an eye out for workers trying to eat 2 bowls in one setting. One is enough to fill your stomach for an entire watch. Some complain about the taste, of course. Ingrates. I did see you by the marketplace. What were you doing there? Watching one of my workers take a beating. I felt sorry for the lad, but there was nothing I can do. The foreman smiles wryly, showing his yellow teeth. Almost all the front ones have been knocked out. I stuck my neck out in the past, but I'm not doing that again. I am not going to eat that soup. No. I seek the blood-spun web's temple. Do you know where it is? The cultists don't let people like me in on the rites and mysteries. I'm grateful for them for their service to the God Emperor, but to be honest, I couldn't get behind their love of death. I'm too much fond of living. Okay. I don't... Captain Guppo wouldn't really care what the life is like for his people. Okay, interesting. There was some treasure, and heavy air quotes for the treasure part of that. It was around here somewhere, wasn't it?
Follow my
Yeah.
lead.
Ration cards and junk. See, we got goods. Oh, we have to get across. Okay, so we're going back that way. I'm going the right way. We're gonna risk our life once again for a few bits of like trash can garbage. Wait,
A new challenge for me.
good. That's down there. Another 20% athletics check. Hopefully, you're gonna pass it. Okay. Let's do it again. Doesn't look like we took any wounds. We'll do it again. And we'll... So, let's see here. I'll do this. So, one of the things we'll try to do before the end of the stream, we'll try to actually brainstorm our imagined concept for a Xenos, a Strixus Xenos companion in one of the future Road Trader DLCs, just for fun, right? Definitely, I would feel... So, the Strixus, their deal is they're kind of like almost like a mercantile race in a lot of ways. They have interesting value on like certain goods and services. They trade with pretty much anyone except the Eldar. They hate the Eldar, right? They have a lot of like cobbled together kind of like flotilla ships that are pretty interesting to deal with. And I would think that greed would definitely be a strong part of this character as we're dealing with him, right? I think one of the things we would have to think about as we're playing, as we're coming up with him, would be like, you know what we could do? We could just say like, we can make this character for, just for funsies for a DLC character. But if anyone is actually, game mastering their own Warhammer 40,000 campaign, they can actually use this character in their campaigns. I feel like to give him more of a flexibility, like how he could appear in a pen and paper game or a DLC, I feel like we should make him a sanctioned Xenos, right? That is to say that he has the brand of the Aquila along with the markings and data codes tattooed on himself. So he's allowed to operate inside the Imperium, right? So long as he has someone to vouch for the authenticity of his brand, right? Okay. Look at all this blood everywhere. We're just falling repeatedly. But we're not getting any permanent injuries, so I think I'm good. 20% chance. We might have been using up all of our luck. But I think, yeah, like we'd have to make sure that this creature is sanctioned Xenos, right? Now, I'm not going to switch over to the PDF in the internet just yet because we got to, well, maybe on like a loading screen. Good thing.
Just bad luck.
But oh wait, there's a little thing over here. It's nice, cool. Let's do a flip as we fall.
It's going in my personal file.
I won't tolerate weakness.
I don't know how many times we're gonna do this. It's 20%. We've done the last 20% athletics checks just fine. Okay. Hey, the dev, what's going on? Good morning. Good afternoon. Oh, we did it. Awesome. I'm just not even anticipating we were actually doing something productive. Cool, I guess. We'll take the junk. But yeah, we have
Follow my lead.
a Xenos
Let's
idea
locate something.
that is focused on like greed, his character concept, right? Which is, in a way, a lot of stuff that is his race in general focuses more on greed. So we do kind of also want him to like stand out, So maybe we have to give him like a greedy aspect to him, but with a little bit of a twist, right? To make him a little bit more interesting. But like I said, I'll show you guys more images on Strixus a little bit later when I get the chance. But just think of it like a scraggly, like dog-faced Xenos with like 2 sets of eyes. Yes, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Goods. What's this? Ooh, what is this actually? Book of War Prayers. The wearer gains 10% more damage to Xenos and demons. If the wearer has conviction, dogmatic the bonus is doubled. Oh, that's interesting. Cool, I guess.
Victory waits.
But yeah, like they are kind of like a pug-faced, long-armed, spindly-looking Xenos race that are very mercantile or very into like greed and stuff. They're like 40k Ferengi from Star Trek. Can we fall? Took the quick way down. Rogue Trader's always navigating in style. He does, so like we said, Strix's character that we're coming up with, he does have a brand for, he's a sanctioned Xenos. He does operate inside the Imperium, right? So he would be most likely, if you're a sanctioned Xenos, you still have to have someone of high power that can like vouch for your status as a sanctioned Xenos, right? So we have to kind of think about. We have to think about 100%. Cool. We have to think about like who he's allied to, right? Now, it would be interesting if he was, if his this character that we're thinking about, his sponsor is not something typical. Like you would typically think like it would be a rogue trader or a member of the Inquisition. But what if it could be one of the other Adepta, right? We could say he's like a naval officer, or he's from the trade empire, or the trade section, like the, what was it? The, oh man, I forget exactly what the commerce, like trade association of the Imperium, what they're called. But the, it'll probably pop up into my head again. But we can say that they're from the, like the trade section of the Imperium. That would be something. But that would be something also you would normally think about, right? I think naval would be interesting. Administratum would be interesting. Something that you wouldn't really expect, though. I think there's a combat coming up here. So let's go. Save also. A Strixus commerce alien in a different aligned to a different facet of the 40,000 universe that you might expect, right?
Reports. The bane of an arbitrator's existence.
Let's go up here.
At the end of every mission,
Send in
I'm
Solomon.
at the mercy of paperwork.
Outcast goods. Stop being so bloody difficult. What's that thing the death cult to say? Your time has come, or what have you? Please, what did I do? Ah! Talk about being everywhere at once. How about we take this stuff to the marketplace? We'll eat soup tonight. That was a murder! Yeah. Let's look around.
Sweeping the area.
I'm pretty sure there's a combat in this area. Knife. Great. What's this? The one who called himself a dead man, having exacted the revenge on the spinners, lies motionless with a poison needle in his neck and a sneer on his lips. Repair the control panel. Okay. Look around a little bit more. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Ew, fungus. Crazy, man. Outclass, 𝕿𝖗, goods. I think it's probably safe for me to send the whole party in here.
They say a little bit of humility never hurt anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly humiliating them at every step. Any challenge for me?
Wait, what? Don't need to. Oh man, I was not paying attention. I'm so like focused on my idea of a new companion, right? I get so like I get like tunnel sighted. What is that saying? Tunnel vision. I get tunnel vision a lot of time. Weird, my little voices have shut up. Now that they're just giggling quietly every time you touch something. How about we head back and wash our hands with soap every 10 times or so? Okay.
Follow my lead.
Zinda, the outcast. Okay, we're not quite there yet. Let's go around. Get some more loot. Wait, a cure for rash. Lord Captain has spent too much time in the pestilence pit by the warrior's freight line, and then what? Suspicious rash. The character's dodge, hit, chance, and parry are reduced by 10%. A strange rash appeared on your skin after you ventured into the ship's transportation tunnels. Most likely another trophy you have claimed for that unpleasant place. Okay, that's fine.
None shall stand in my way.
Disarm trap? Sure.
The Emperor gave me a vision. Accomplished. I rise above.
I could have sworn that there was... Oop.
Found it.
I could have sworn that there was a combat in here somewhere.
I have proven myself yet again. And done.
Ooh, what's this? Gloves, Crimson Oblivion. If formed by a death cult assassin, we don't have it on party. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy, that enemy explodes into a fountain of blood. The cells nearby are covered in blood as if they're covered by a blood vial. That's pretty cool, actually. Martyr's Bone Charm. If formed by a death cult assassin, when the wearer gains a stack of blood blessed, we could actually respec Marzai. I think that's the character I was thinking of. We can do we can respec him to be a death cult assassin. Death cult assassin bounty hunter. That'd be an interesting build with specialization in like buzzsaws, right? Then you can use all sorts of like weird death cult stuff. When the wearer gains a stack of blood blessed, they also gain plus 10 stacks, plus 10 toughness for 2 rounds. Does not stack. Interesting. Okay, cool. I'll take it. Officer Molly Prickleberry, outcast, outcast, outcast. Should I go all the way back? Go back and take a bath.
Claim to the stars.
Outcast. Tech use. Repair the control panel. Sure. I think certain things that have changed since the last time we played this quest. Because there's a lot of things that they feel... It feels a little different. So I know in order to get down to the Bloodspun Web, we have to jump through the whatchamacallit. What's this? Beggar. We have to jump through the fan, right? So there's a lot of stuff we haven't seen. Can we make it to the elevator? We'll just go and we'll heal up, and then we can talk a little bit more about our Strix's character. I mean, like, what was it? Adira said we should, like, go wash our hands. So I don't know if it's permanent. Collect, yes. Yes, please. Officer's deck, Lord Captain's quarters. We'll go to my quarters. We'll take a bath. Just in case. I don't know if that would really, like, take off the rash, but we'll try it. But yeah, I kind of am tempted to kind of go through the main plot a little bit more, just so I can get Marzai. But that takes a while. Like, once you get into the Act 3 quest, like, you're locked into it for a while. And plus, oh yeah, before we get into it, I do need to level up quite a bit. So yeah, I shouldn't rush. I know a lot of our other, and we're playing on like a hard difficulty also. So leveling up is going to be a necessity. Okay, do we still have it? We still have it. Suspicious rash. There's dodge, hit chance, and parry are reduced by 10. Let's do Can Nurgle's influence be cured by a bubble bath? Ablutions. Where's my ablutions? I forget what they are. I think they're back here. Rinse up. Let's rubber dub dub.
Ah, I miss my body. I miss my beautiful body. I miss washing in every caress. This maiden's body, too ungangly, too unseemly. Bring me my salty pork. Maeve has let herself lose too much weight. I need to bulk on mass.
Let's see here. Yeah, let's finish for now. It is kind of funny when you talk to one of your character. Oh, it's still there. It is no. So it is permanent. Okay, that's not good. That's okay. Most of the damage that the character deals are from his familiar, so it's not really that big a deal. It does kind of suck, though. I mean, 10% hit chance can make a big difference. Just can't get this rash off. What if the Medicaid has any, like, topical creams? Come on. Let's see here. Cure for rash. There must be someone on board who knows how to purge a rotator's body of this affliction. Let's talk to our know-it-all guy. Let's do our trader. Maybe we can actually order something. Kibla. Or maybe Kibla might know. Bridge technomats. Wait, why am I lost? Hold on. I think it is... Here he is. Danrock. Danrock might know. What do you think of fellow crew members? Renew training. Okay, let's talk to Kibla. She's been there plenty of times. Kibla. Talk to Kibla. It's like, I have a rash in a very inappropriate place. Tell me if this is just a similar color skin. Theodore Valencia, Damin. There's Tarot. Okay. Well, eventually we'll meet someone who knows how to treat my rash. Anyways, freight line. Yes. Got the itchiest rash. Oh, we should probably do... Let's see here. While it's loading, we'll go over here. We'll check out the internets. And we'll do the thing. Let's see here. What's the most appropriate book for this? This is a map. Boop, 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 boop. Edge of the Expanse. Creatures Bestiary, I think. Bestiary. Strixus 94. We talked a little bit about the Strixus on this channel. But you can see Strixus, Strixus, Strixus. So this is kind of how they look. I think this robes, they look like they're more... I guess they do trade with Imperials. Maybe that's why they actually look like Imperial robes. But I kind of like it when they have their own kind of look. But this is what a Strixus looks like. So we make a Strixus character who was... Let's see here. Warhammer 40,000 Adepta. Let's see what kind of Adepta, like a full list of it. Adepta. Hold on, let's do boop. Adeptus Terra. Okay, Adeptus Terra. So Adeptus Terra, we have Imperial Adepta, Adeptus Ministratum, Departmental Minatorium. That might be actually interesting. A Strixus, a sanctioned Xenos, who's assigned to the Departmental Minatorium. So they are part of like a they are part of the administratum, but it's the departmental munitorium is like its own thing, but it's also a sub branch of the adeptus administratum. So it makes sense that he would start off as a servant of the paper pushers and then go into the things that go boom, right? And he would have like his instinctive way of looking at things and his greedy way of looking at things, and loving things that go boom. So that would be an interesting background for our character, that he would be from the departmental munitorium. The estate imperium, who involves like property rights, officio assassinorum, templars psychologus, officio sabotorum, officio logisterium, officio medicae, officio agriculturate, logis strategos, sector lords, planetary governors, astra militarum, imperial fleets, which includes navis imperialis, merchant fleets, civil fleets, either that or the merchant fleets. Adeptus Astra Telepathica, Adeptus Astronomica, Adeptus Astartes, Space Marines, wouldn't make any sense. Adeptus Fidelicius. What was that again? I don't even remember. That was the Adeptus Fidelicius is a division of the Adeptus Terra that essentially acts as the Imperium's revenue service, entrusting the Imperium's Imperial central coffers on Terra receive all the resources and ties due from its member worlds. Additionally, one of its more important duties is investigating other organs of Adeptus Terra that root out fraud and corruption. Okay, interesting. Synopticon, drawing a blank on this one. The Synopticon is an agency of the Adeptus Terra whose name indicates it is dedicated to surveillance and intelligence analysis. The Synopticon acts as primary signals intelligence and internal security surveillance agency for the Imperium. That might be interesting as well. That Zeno's character is part of the intelligence agency, not of the Inquisition, but of the Adeptus, the High Lords. The official who leads the Synopticon is known as the Lord Constable, and is sometimes granted one of the 3 temporary seats among the High Lords of Terra. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. You learn something new every day. Logos Historica Virtia. I think that's actually a newer rank that came with a more recent change in the Imperium's lore. When the Primarch Gilman came back, I think he established the Logos Historica to find out all the forgotten history of the Imperium. I think kind of like almost like a spy who works for the Departmental Munitorium. I think that's like a good place for sanctioned Xenos to be a part of, but we'll come back to that. Boop. Okay, so I think we go back to where we were. We should probably stop and see if we can actually get some of this loot, if possible. We have our wonderful rash. What? 2:16. Okay, so we're almost getting close to 2.5 hours. I'll probably do a little bit of a longer stream. At the very least, do the side quest. Me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Speed Freaks, right? I think it has. I don't think. I know it has something to do with the EasyCheats detection software that Epic installs onto these games, but I'm not sure why it hasn't been a problem up until now. Anyways, there should be loot. Loot. Thank you. And loot. More loot, please. Get all the trash. I'm gonna be the trash man. Me. You know what? I might try, just to see what kind of interest there is. I might try to run
a modded Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous game on Sundays. Maybe I'm like probably not. Maybe next week or the week after that. The next Sunday or the Sunday after that. I'll just kind of gauge a reaction for like how many people might be actually interested in it. The foreman loot. Go down here. Actually, go here. But yeah, I'm not really sure. Like, I want a unique gameplay experience for Pathfinder, so I'll probably look around and see if there's a lot of like what kind of interesting mods there are for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and make it like a very unique character, and we can actually play through it. And maybe I'll advertise a little bit, see if we can get a little bit more interest in it, and just see who's interested in like following along with it. Like, I do still enjoy playing Battlefleet Gothic Armada and Rogue Trader on Sundays, but it would be kind of interesting to kind of like mix it up a little bit, especially since we will be doing like our Thursdays. I'm going to dedicate to Master of Magic 94 for like a long time, since we're doing a full campaign. So I don't know. It'd be good to kind of like open up a little bit of flexibility. You know what I'm saying? What do we got here? Yes, got more loots. High hopes for this loot.
Follow my lead.
Cool. God, it's so bad. Okay, so I think we go... It's the Den of the Outcast. I think we go up here. I think we jump into here, right? And do like a leap of faith. Save game. But yeah, I think once we finally get Mara's Eye, having like a death cultist bounty hunter, because I haven't really played bounty hunter, death cultist bounty hunter build. We can play something like that. He's going to be melee, I know that. So Den of the Outcast, a figure in decaying tatters is rocking to and fro, muttering indistinctly in several different voices, occasionally breaking into hoarse laughter. As you come closer, she freezes and turns slowly to look at you. An ugly, rusted mask covers her face. Are you here to take Sedena to the other side? No, 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 no. You were just wandering around in the dark, looking for the light, but it's nowhere to be found. Do you really not see it? What is this repulsive place? Do you truly live here? The one scratches her neck nervously. You note her deformed fingers ravaged by some unknown disease. Here where the unfortunate meet undeath. Here a dumping ground for the bodies of those and dying one rejects. Here where pestilence dwells, Zedena welcomes them all, talks to their ghost. Here where Zedena lives? Yes, that sounds right. There's a blood symbol next to you. I've seen such marks before. Is this another part of the Song of Trailing Blood? Zedena bursts into hysterical laughter. Oh yes, the song. Here, listen, listen! She starts channeling hurriedly. She wanders around eternity in the dark, yet was consoled, webbed foretold. The undying one's blood secrets glowed, a light guiding her faithful fold. But the threads must end, and so the spider did that which was owed, her life and death to ship bestowed. The final test. This time they want you to make a sacrifice. If one were to interpret the entire mythical search as a repetition of the saint's journey, the logical conclusion that you are supposed to sacrifice yourself to merge with the blood that has drenched the flagship from bow to stern. She laughs again. And you'll see if you learn to see. Look at the darkness. Look. Peer in the darkness. I cannot fathom what I meant to see here. You peer into the darkness and are gradually able to make out the outlines of objects hidden in the shadows, rotting corpses, rough walls, the twitching death throes of the infected people left here to die. You see no light in this place, only mere darkness and despair. Zedena the Outcast, you don't see, do you? You don't see! Zedena shakes her head frantically and starts tearing off her rags. Strips of her decaying flesh peel off along with them. Ugh. You'll not see until you become like Zedena, the flesh and blood of the ship. You're insane! Out of my sight! Zedena breaks into hysterical laughter. You'll be back. Everyone who's looking for something comes back. Or do they? Why they come back when you found what you were seeking? Ugh. Wait, do I have to... Boop. 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 Okay, how do I become the flags? Is blood. I'll just 𝕻𝖃 will show you, and then you'll see the light. Truly, come on now. Oh, plunge in the ventilation shaft. Yes. Well, I do remember that part of it. Bye, 𝕻𝖃! Okay. The rotating blades promise nothing but a senseless and brutal death. Slipping past them would require some unreasonably precise calculations or blind luck. While listening to the air currents, for a moment you think you hear 𝕻𝖃's whispered prayer rising from the depths of the shaft. Okay. Athletics, 75% jump. Okay, so wait, so how is, like, I'm kind of confused. Like, is this like out loud? Do I say, "Oh, ruinous powers, blah blah blah"? So the Captain Guppo looks around, makes sure no one's looking, and then whispers, "I am willing to take the risk, so I might learn the secrets of the blood-spun web, but I need your aid, spirits." So he's practicing in secret, little bits and pieces of like sorcery, because that's the way the universe works. He's starting to realize that. A confident smile that is not your own appears on your lips. The rumbling blades do no longer seem dangerous, but the prospect of jumping becomes a mere trifle. Jump. 75%. Fucking kill myself. I wonder if, like, if you roll really badly enough, does it actually does kill you? Stop! Don't do it! Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like and follow and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. I really appreciate it if you would do so. I do stream Wednesday, Thursday nights, Saturday, Sunday mornings. You want to come and hang out any of those times, that'd be great. You can follow me on any sort of social media. I go by Mechanical Beanstalk. You just Google search for me with that social media platform. Most likely I'm there. I will send out notices whenever I go live. But yeah, come hang out with me whenever you want. We did not get splattered, but we are alone, which is not good. But I do have my companion with me, my little birdie Barnus the bird.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Death cultist. Death cultist bows his head reverently. 57 wounds. Oh my lord. Hopefully we can get our people back ASAP. Athletics 25%. No, sir. Go down, sure. Oh, or go up. Anything here?
A new challenge for me.
Okay. Death cultist. What's this? Tangles improvised bridges constructed from beams and floors stretch even higher, not unlike a web. The temple is growing, as if it were a living organism. Fascinating. Go down. Anything over here?
It's about time.
There is... probably have to jump over there. I'm not going to risk it. 25% chance. That looks like a hamburger. I'll pick up the hamburger. You know, in a death cult temple. Why not? Kind of feel like having hamburgers tonight. For winter, my wife, I actually got a Bob's Burgers cookbook a number of years back. It has like
recipes for like a lot of different burgers. One of the ones was like a kind of like a mango burger. It was actually pretty good. There's one that's like a black garlic burger that I kind of want to do. Make my mouth water. Yeah, I kind of want to make like a really nice burger tonight. All right. Nope. Did I find something? That's got the little sound that. Ah, this. Save. Cool. Medicaid. I actually have Medicaid? Oh yeah, I do have Medicaid, that's right.
Done.
The smoke tickles your nostrils, making you slightly dizzy. Such substances are known to induce visions or hallucinations. Oh, my guys. Awesome. Vizier of the Bloodspun Web. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we'll probably finish up with this little mini quest. We'll get out of the temple, and then we'll end the stream. A frail old man, gray beard tinged with blood, folds his wrinkled hands in a ritual gesture. His body is covered in scars, some old, some fresh. His eyes are sewn tightly shut. His mouth is cleft at both corners, making his jaw seem eerily snake-like. And the Lord of the Ark walked the path of unlife, in the footsteps of the web's very first spinner, and the servant of death bowed before him, for the Doman is the giver of life. Interesting. The dev. I just discovered that I can cook eggs in a microwave, and now my whole life has changed. Oh, I never actually, I mean, I know it's possible, but I never really looked into it. It's kind of one of those things that you don't, I don't know, you just kind of, you expect to cook eggs and, stovetop, boil them, and that's just how things are, you know what I'm saying? The old man goes still, his head turns to the side, he nods towards the temple's muffled silence. Yes. Yes, truth like a steam pours from your lips. We welcome him as the tenants demand. 𝕽𝖶𝖌𝖚, a servant of death who sees beyond the threshold. A spider who spins a cocoon at the end of his thread. 𝕽𝖶𝖌𝖚 shakes her head and clutches her temples. Sorry. Spins a cocoon at the end of his thread. Interesting. Sorry. It's just that it came over me. I didn't say anything too weird, did I? Okay, so his deal is that he's... Oh, he's... I think his deal in the storyline for the Vizier, the leader of the Bloodspun Web, is that he's training 𝕽𝖶𝖌𝖚 to take his place. So he spends a cocoon like a metamorphosis for 𝕽𝖶𝖏 to actually take over. I think that's what his deal is, what she's seeing. Vizier of the Bloodspun Web. A thin blade appears in the old man's trembling hands. Although his arms are stiff, it looks like he can barely bend. In the next instant, the dynasty symbol is etched onto his forehead, dripping blood. With a brief motion, he flicks the blood off of his blade and several drops land on your face. Ah! Ah! The blessed welcomes his new lord. I am the vizier. For many years we have waited, and now you're here. We have waited, whispers echo from his words from the shadows. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Vizier has some sort of titles. Temple relationship without anyone noticing. So you just walked my companions in here the normal way while I was forced to take that jump? The spinners guided them along a difficult trail. You had to take the step, for only you were meant to become the flagship's blood, Daman. There is no reason to test the faith of those who follow you, for the burden was their lord to bear. How did you manage to erect an entire temple in the middle of the ship without anyone noticing? Well, I mean, that's like in Imperial ships. It's not anything too unusual, right? Why is it that you have invited me here? Death whispered your name and commanded us to honor you with a sacred ritual, but only inside the temple can the spinners perform it. The vizier is suddenly distracted by something invisible and nods towards an empty space. Yes, we are glad he has reached this place. We are glad to serve. So I've walked the path of the old matriarch spider, so what now? The Song of the Trailing Blood tells of a path fraught with many trials. By accepting it and settling out on that path, you have passed the first trial, the trial of resolve. For not everyone is prepared to shun their fear and doubt and embark on the search of the unknown, a search for death. The trial of compassion was the second one. You pass it when you put yourself albeit briefly, in the service of another soul, a man suffering from burns. From the choice between life and death is to be made only by those willing to take responsibility for the pain of another. The third with a trial of justice. In assuming the role of judge for an apostate of our faith, you declared your right to influence the balance of life and death and the errant soul that the errant soul had upset. And the fourth was a trial of duty, for duty always leads to death. We are prepared to render our duty to the dying one, fearless and accepting of our purpose, which is to serve him. You too have proven yourself prepared, and the 4 trials have brought you here. Force me to go to the show with me. And what would have happened if I had never reached the end of the path? Then we would have met another time. For the tangle of fate's threads cannot be rearranged by one turn, however earnestly one may run in the opposite direction. The vizier's sewn-shut eyes seem to peer into your face, studying it. Then he turns away and speaks into an empty space again. Peace, my brother. The time has almost come. So this entire conversation is another test, I imagine. Oh, I actually said the wrong thing. Okay, I was sighted for much of my life. Until a disciple of mine violated the tenets, I realized just how blind I had been. A lesson, but a bitter one. To look at with one's own eyes is to be easily fooled, but the heart cannot be lied to. Such is the truth, and such was my choice. I sealed my eyelids with the gas of true sight. Now I see more and better. A smile grace... Did the music change? A smile graces the vizier's bluish lips. The tenets commanded us to be prepared for all trials, corporeal and spiritual alike. Are you prepared, Daman Lord Guppo Teawhistle? His mouth closes, but you can still hear his whisper. A prickling sensation in your face is making you feel incredibly anxious. You raise a hand to your cheek, only to realize you can't feel it. You look at your palm and see a few smudged drops of blood from the vizier's blade. A strange, serene calm envelops your body. Your fatigue subsides, and you seem to float in the air, seeing things that you had not noticed before. The shadows in the corner taking shape and color, the subdued lumen light playing in the cultist's bone masks. Are they really masks? They're tall, lean, empty-eyed wearers. Might as well be dead people. A chill runs down your spine. Look around your temple. Medicae, what is the meaning of this? Your heart is beating slowly, your breathing has become deeper, and your thoughts are muddled. You seem to be under the effects of a potent stimulant. Interesting. The dev is actually stupidly easy. GPT had a good idea for this once. 2-3 eggs, season, tap for 30 seconds, stir, and then put back in until finished. Interesting. That was it. Okay, cool. Good life hack. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I do appreciate every last one of you. Just want to say that. You poisoned me! Vizier nods meekly. My blood is infused with a concoction taken from those who follow the thread. It is sacred and harmless to us, but to you it befogs and affects. And yet, Dominant Lord Captain Guppo Teawhistle, you have grasped that the mind may fail in the body and senses. This is the trial of spiritual acumen. You have passed it. What happens now? That is for you to tell me. You look at the Vizier, and his trembling frame seems small and insignificant. A single step is all it would take to crush him. Okay. But the visions are starting to wear off, and now the old man towers over you. The keen gaze of his sealed eyes is studying your every movement, waiting for a response. First, you're going to give me the antidote. There is none, but I will ease its effect and quicken dissipation. 3 long needles appear in the Vizier's hand. A moment later, they are inside your body, one in your neck and one in your shoulder, and one between your ribs. You feel no pain or discomfort. On the contrary, your mind feels clearer and more if your muscles begin to regain their function. The Vizier then carefully removes the needles. Now you will feel better. I mean, like, number 1 is not something that I think Guppo would say, but maybe, okay, maybe he would say number 2. He starts getting a little angry. Okay, we'll roleplay it. We'll roleplay it, right? Guppo starts getting a little angry. Enough trials and tests. You insolence has crossed all reasonable lines. You will be punished for this. The Vizier nods obediently and makes a strange sign with his crooked fingers. The spinners echo back. 300 lashes, so the flesh may know repentance. 3 dozen cycles without food or sleep, so the mind may be cleansed of extraneous thoughts and designs. So it's like, is it really, if they start liking it, is it really a punishment? Bloodspoon Webb accepts his punishment and repents. We're ashamed of Damon's displeasure. We hope that the price we pay is proportionate. For years, we have maintained fealty to the Dominee. We have collected sacred symbols and relics. You're the first in 3 generations of lords and ladies to descend into the sanctum. We are grateful, and we are uplifted in spirit. Hear our exaltation, accept this gift of vestment sewn from the bones of his faithful with the threads of death. Spinner's ritual vestments. Okay. Pretty simple. Now that which is foretold has come to pass. The ritual of descent is complete. Now the temple's guests of honor. Now be this temple's guests of honor. Rest for a while. Okay. Is that it? Death cultist, 6 spinner. Dying one. The undying one is death. The undying one is duty. Okay. 3rd spinner, death cultist. Anything interesting? I think a lot of the stuff in here is just like death cultist stuff for like 𝕿𝖃. Can I go? Who's he talking to you all the time? He was in blood and death, made you frightened by that. Well, okay. Well, what do I do? Shall complete quests. Okay, so I guess there's a series of grace of victim's presence on the officer's deck. Okay, so we have to go to the officer's deck. So that's not the railway. That's somewhere else. Okay, so we'll do. I think that's probably won't take too long, right? We can probably do that really quick. So how do I get out of here?
I won't tolerate weakness.
Death cultist. Pretty cool design place, really. Right now, Captain Guppo is like experimenting with Chaos Undivided secretly, like sorceress stuff. But he's not really aligned with the Chaos Gods per se. Reliquary? What's this? Underneath this ancient relic is a stone plaque with the inscription carved with the elegant cursive. If you value life above duty, you're not worthy of it life. Vizier 𝕿𝖃. Okay. Hi. Cool. Oh. What's this? Blooddrinker, where it makes a melee attack, they regain 1 wound. Ooh, not bad. Okay, cool. I'll take that. Definitely.
A new challenge for me.
Death cultist. I want to go home. I want to go home. Well, I guess I am technically home, right? To another compartment. Athletics 50%. I guess I could go back up there. You know, maybe I'll just do that some other time. There's some things I can just do on my own time, really. Like, there's no story beats to it. You guys wouldn't find it really interesting. Like, last campaign, I did a lot of, like small side quests that didn't really have any storylines.
Shall stand in
And,
my
like,
way.
I don't think anyone really noticed it. Taking my first figure hub, I have business with them. Sure. So, what are we going to go back to the enforcer? Can I turn against the 𝕿𝖶𝖆𝖊𝖊? Can I have him, like, purged? I'll be done. I'm just finding a stopping spot. Okay. Yeah, I guess I have to find a stopping spot. So. So yeah, the idea that we have left for next Warhammer 40,000 Sundays, unofficial Warhammer 40,000 Sundays, not official, is we're going to try to design our Strixus companion. I think Departamento Munitorium sounds really interesting. And like he has like a vested interest in dealing like weapons and like the offerings of humanity. Maybe he was like raised as a pup for an Imperial commander, right? Like he's a sanctioned Xenos under Imperial commander, and he sees that Imperial commander is like his owner, his dad, right? Interesting. So, save. Okay, I know. Let's see here. Bottomless editor Frenzo. So let's talk to Frenzo, and then we can like end the stream. Came across the drawing. What does it mean? First, been pro your ration cards. There's a compartment. Okay, so we can't really do anything. We'll end the stream. Thank you guys for hanging out with me once again. I appreciate that. If you have a moment of your time, reach out to me on the comments of this video or on Discord. Give me your 2 cents on if you want to actually start a Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous campaign, like modded. We'll be like try to make like a very strange, interesting character, which I always love doing personally. But yeah, thank you guys for attending my stream once more. You guys are amazing, beautiful people who deserve all the love in the world. I think I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing for Wednesday night stream. I think I'm going to be playing a game called You versus You, where it's like kind of almost like it's a puzzle game where you're trying to you do a little bit of platforming and you try to beat certain puzzles, but at the same time you take control of your temporal clones. And the temporal clones, you have to make sure that they fight yourself. So it's a puzzle where you're fighting in both sides of like the spectrum, which is kind of interesting. So I'm going to do You versus You on Wednesday. I kind of feel like playing Chrono Cross again on Saturday, but if I don't play Chrono Cross on Saturday, it's probably going to be I'm probably going to start up Lisa the Pointless, I want to say. And then we'll play Lisa the Pointless and Chrono Cross back to back, or back and forth. And once we finish up on Chrono Cross, then we'll switch back over to .hack on the rotation, right? And Sunday we'll probably go back to Battlefleet Gothic Armada, and Thursday we're going to be doing our Pirate campaign in Master of Magic. So that sounds pretty reasonable. But anyways, thank you guys for helping me get to partner over in YouTube. I really do appreciate that. I'll try to, one of the goals I guess I'm going to personally start doing is putting out a little bit more edited content. So look forward to that. And I'm going to try to get in the groove for doing that. But yeah, thank you guys very much. You guys are amazing. You're wonderful. Like and follow and subscribe if you haven't already. Be part of the community. Hang out with me. And yeah, I look forward to that. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to fly away. Bye.